In today's video, I'm going to tell the story on how I walked 65,000 steps in 12 hours without any preparation. Whoa, before you switch on to the next video, I do want to say, I know, 65,000 steps, that's 50 kilometers, right? That doesn't sound that impressive, especially walking. Let me ask you the question, my friend. How many times have you seen or heard about people running 100 kilometers, 100 miles, running for 24 hours straight, walking for 48 hours? How many times have you been motivated?
How you doing?
I'm back! And how many times have you actually done something? So in today's video, I really want to inspire you to push your boundaries just that little bit. So sit back, relax, have some snacks and water, grab a sandbag, and let's watch this story unfold. So it all started a couple of months ago when this guy here asked us, hey, do you want to walk 100 kilometers in one sitting? We're like, maybe. And then he said, maybe we should just start with 50. So I was in, hesitantly. I don't really like walking that much. Whenever I go for a walk that is already 5 kilometers, man oh man, I just want to stop. I'm longing for the end. So I wasn't really looking forward to it, to be honest. So what we did was we set a date. The 14th of March, which was last Sunday. And yeah, day by day, it was getting closer and closer. So you might be wondering, how does one prepare for a walk of 50 kilometers? Well, as the title already said, I didn't prepare because the date of 13th of March kept on creeping up. And by the time I realized, it was too late to prepare. So I didn't. Which was actually just fine. So the first lesson that I learned was to surround yourself with people who want to push you just that slight little bit. Because, as I said earlier, I would have never just walked that long of a distance on my own. And I would have never had the courage to even do so. But just by having some people who are willing to push the envelope a little bit further, you're going to accomplish great stuff. So, they say it's lonely at the top, but I don't think your life should be always that lonely. Also, I'm not at the top, just yet. The second thing I learned during that trip was that drinking water is pretty important because although it wasn't too hot, you're going to get dehydrated if you don't drink enough. So, drink your water. That is also something I learned from 75 Hard. Drinking 4 liters of water for a long period of time every single day. Yeah, you get used to drinking a lot of water. If you want to avoid cramps, if you want to avoid dehydration, and if you just want to stay sharp that tiny little bit, water is going to help you tremendously. I had 3 liters of water with me, so for 12 hours, that was enough. I'm all here about giving lessons, and I've never talked about what type of hike I actually did. So what we did was we walked from my house all the way up to a mountain. So I live in Belgium, for those of you who do not know. There's a town called V-Town. If you're from Belgium, you know what town it is. And we went all the way up to the border of Walloon. There you have, on the border, you have like a mountain type. I'm blowing it up much more than it is, but it's called the Volt Mountains. I'll put it in Dutch, so the people who know what I mean will probably laugh at it. But so we walked all the way up to Volt Mountains. That was already like a 20 to 25 kilometer hike all the way up there. And then we walked up and around the woods of that mountain. And then we just returned back home again. Another tip that I want to give you is bring plenty of food. It doesn't always have to be about pushing boundaries, and it's not because you're already doing a walk that you also have to do it fasted and without water or without anything or without shoes or clothes or whatever. No, getting enough energy, that is a key point. Probably one of the most valuable lessons that I've learned was more related about the mental game. So if you're walking or if you're doing anything for a long period of time, your body is going to tell you to stop. So your body will start to say, hey, your hips are hurting, or your feet are hurting, or your butt hurts, or your shoulder is achy. I learned that you should not complain about it. You shouldn't acknowledge it too much. You should actually see your body as a little child. A child will try to do everything to get your attention. And when you always give it that attention directly, it will keep on wanting more attention. And all of a sudden, you have to give it your full attention, and now you can't do anything else. On the 50K hike, there wasn't really any complaining. Like, sometimes somebody would say, hey, I feel it in my knee, but I'm fine. Or, my hip flexor is a little bit stiff, but I'm fine. We're doing just the walk and we're talking about other stuff. And I think that helps with the mental game, because once it gets in your head, it's difficult to get out. So if you're constantly thinking like, hey, I'm in pain, or this hurts, or whatever, you're going to be constantly thinking about that, and it's going to overrule the whole experience, and it's going to overrule the discipline of just putting one foot in front of the other. So yeah, that was a very cool one. And that's one that I really wanted to bring over with this video. Yeah, guys, I really encourage you to just go for a hike. Find some guys or girls that are really motivated and that are not complaining, and you're going to have a very good time. So thank you so much for listening to my story. I don't know if you can really call that a story, but now I'm going to lay off walking for probably the rest of the year, maybe longer. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, subscribing and liking this video. Leave a comment if you're a hiker or you have some tips for maybe the 65 kilometers that they want to do in the future. Please let me know in the comments down below. And I guess I'll be seeing you all in the next video.